Hey, yo, what's up? My name is Myne, and we have a brand new postcard from the Hytale development team. Today is the 16th of April, and let's jump right into it. Today, we were granted a very chilly postcard with the caption saying, "Living expressions of elemental magic watching over the denizens of this glacial grotto." Also, there's penguins. So let's go right into the analysis of the postcard. I don't think there's a more perfect way to start this than the aforementioned penguins. Now, hear me out. I have a theory about the penguins, and I'll actually get back to the penguins because the one thing that needs to be touched upon with my theory is this fish on the bottom. There's a fish in the very bottom of this lake-looking area in this cave. It looks very deadly. It looks very spiky. Possibly could give you a nice drop. Maybe it could give you like some scale armor. That'd be really cool, right? I mean, it looks very tough. Probably wouldn't want to punch it. You might even get hurt if you punch it, but if you are able to defeat this very carnivorous looking fish, then you could get yourself some scale armor and then, be immune to punches as the same way that the fish was. Now here's my theory. This fish looks dangerous. Now the most dangerous thing in this postcard is not this golem thing in the very back that we'll touch back on, but my theory is that the penguins are actually the real threat. Now they look cute, and that's where they get you. See, I feel like these fish are scared of the penguins. Now, this fish could be anywhere, right? It could be floating near the top, it could be floating near the bottom, and it chooses the bottom because the fish is scared of the penguins that are on top. Now, if it goes too high up, the penguins might be able to spot the fish and kill it. These penguins are a menace to society. If you look at the very front one, the one that's looking towards the character, it's a spy. It's looking out towards any visitors coming through this little pathway. You can see it's a very thin pathway. There's a lake on the left side. There's like a little lake area on the right side of the character, which means that this is a perfect ambush spot for these penguins to go ahead and completely obliterate this main character of ours. Speaking of the penguins, we have seen them previously, and that is in the December 2020 blog post. It was a development update, and they showed us a nice little picture containing exactly 5 penguins. We have a polar bear in the back, very scared of the penguins because, once again, penguins are a real threat. Oh, my apologies, it's 6 because there's one underwater. It's a little sneak attack penguin. The fish doesn't know what's happening to him, or will happen to him. We don't want to tell that story. It's a bit graphic, but we have seen these penguins before. I feel like this is the same area, and now hear me out. I know, this is very far reach that these are both very frozen areas. It's an entrance to the cave. You're inside the cave. If you look at the rocks on the blog post image, you can see that the texture is very similar, if not the same thing, as the type of rocks you see inside of the cave. We could be led to have another story because with the previous postcards, there was a story. It was a story of a man trying to conquer a goblin cave, a goblin outpost in the middle of a cave, and it did not end very well. It was a little 1-month journey that we were led on to, and hopefully our main character right here won't have the same fate with the penguin boss. That's a little spoiler. I got Noxie on call. He told me about that last night, but I think I should stop talking about the penguins because I probably am stretching my NDA on that. Let's go on to the golem. Now, the golem looks, in my opinion, very friendly. The character seems very nonchalantly walking, obviously unbeknownst to the penguin surprise attack that's waiting her, but the golem seems to be following behind her. And now this makes me think that the golem is friendly. Maybe you can befriend this golem. Maybe it's part of a quest. This golem, it could be an escort quest. It could be like a protect quest. You have to go down in the middle of this icy cave, show him something. I don't know. Something along those lines. Or maybe it's just a domestic pet. You have your generic dogs, cats, and all that, whatever. And then you can have a pet golem. I mean, it's cute. Maybe not as cute as the dog, but it's quite the cuddly animal thing. I don't know if it's an animal. It's a piece of rock by the looks of it, but I'll give it a hug. You never know. Before you yell at me in the comments being like, wait, there's a pickaxe in the character's hand, there's a crystal in front of the character, and you're turning around because you realize there's a monster, stop breaking my immersion. I want this to be a tameable character. Now, the one thing that's weird about this new postcard is the very back of it. We see a very reddish outline of an entrance to something. It looks like that the character was coming from there because they're obviously facing away from it. So it could be interesting to see how the merging of different environments happens, because this is a very cold, a very chilly blue area that we're inside of, and then right next to it is a very deep dark red and almost hot looking area. We know that zone 3 is a very icy, a very cold place, and that zone 4, while the above ground may not be the friendliest to humans, the underground is lush. We see a bunch of red, green, blue, whatever. We see a bunch of different colors from Zone 4. My guess could be that this is a little biome merging. We see that this is the end of Zone 3 maybe, and the cave just goes on to Zone 4. This could be an example of how you move between the zones. It's very seamless. You just walk from, the frozen caverns into this lush cave of red. I think it's a very valid theory because I don't think that this main character, this sweet little lady that we have walking across this icy path, has a very deep, dark dungeon behind her, and she's looking to for any new animals such as the penguins to torture inside of, which very well could also be a valid theory, but I think the zone merging between 3 and 4 is a bit more valid than this one. Would love to hear what your thoughts are down in the comments, whether or not this red area is this little lady's torture cabinet, or it's just a zone merging, or if you have another theory about what this red area could be, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. The last thing we're going to touch on is the clothing. The clothing, once again, is very unique. We haven't seen this anywhere before, as far as I know, and it looks like she's dressed for the weather. She has very thick clothes on, she has a scarf, and the rest isn't very noticeable or, recognizable on what she's wearing, but it seems like she's definitely wearing the right stuff for the right environment, and this could, bring more theories to the table on, is this a confirmation that you might need to wear some thicker clothes into the icy caverns of Zone 3? Do you need to wear a bit less clothes in the desert hot areas of Zone 2? This could also be debated, but I think without going on and rambling too long for this video, we're gonna end here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of this postcard analysis. Do you want to see more? Do you want to see less? I mean, can't get less than nothing. So let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.